Hey guys, so second video of today, I wanted to talk about some of the group trips that Peace Corps trainers or trainees did um, during training in Guinea. And the really big one is a place called La Cascade de Soumba. So La Cascade de Soumba, that's a waterfall in Guinea, about, I don't know, 20 kilometers away from Debreka. So actually not too far away at all from Conakry, and just if you're going to be a tourist in Guinea, this would be the place that you absolutely have to go. So the Peace Corps was telling us about this waterfall. It was an optional trip, I think, um, because you had to spend money to get in, and so you had to spend your own money. But it was like super cheap, like less than $1 to get in, um, and they were taking us on a bus to get there. Though the other option to get there, which I chose foolishly, was to bike there. And 20 kilometers isn't a lot. I thought I was still pretty fit, but this was delusional Dewan talking. I'd already been there for a few weeks, had already lost a few pounds, wasn't eating so well, um, and I also hadn't even ridden my bike for any extended period of time. Like I had been in a single gear the entire time I had been in Debreka. I remember everyone getting ready to go on this trip. The bus. No, did the bus leave before us? No, the bikers left first. The bikers left first. We had like a huge head start, and uh, right off the bat, I my bike started messing up. Like it wouldn't switch to higher gears, and then we were able to kind of fix it, and but it started getting jittery again just a few miles down the road. Um, so so the trip for me was actually super hard. It was all uphill, and I'm just biking with a nice lady named Amanda. She's the same age as me, but she was chill about it. She's like, "I'll bike with you just so you don't get lost." And we it, it was a very tiring trip. Tostin, who was leading the pack, a super nice, chill guy from Washington State, he was telling me you should just wait for the bus because he was getting really pissed off at waiting. I was like, no, go on without me, go on without me. But Tostin was never the type to leave a man behind, so he just kind of slowed down and would wait for me to catch up, and the others would too. Uh, we finally, after several miles on the road, we get to a dirt path, and Tostin's like, "Are you okay?" Because I was just super tired. I was breathing heavy, sweating. It had rained a little bit even, and I was just running out of energy. And I remember saying like, "No, no, no! This was the last thing on my bucket list. The last thing on my bucket list was to make it to La Cascade de Sumba before I die." and Kelsey, this super fit volunteer, she was just laughing. She's like, "Okay, let's go." So we had just a couple miles to go on the dirt road. Luckily, it was flatter than the main road. We make it to La Cascade de Sumba, and right away it was worth it. Imagine this beautiful waterfall, and it was just so picturesque. It has the waters flowing down. It wasn't a very tall waterfall, maybe, I don't know, 50, 60 feet, if that. But it was super wide, and the hotel that overlooked it had a balcony area, and there were just so many beautiful trees, birds. The hotel itself was beautiful, and it just seemed so surreal, so calm that something could be hiding so deep in the forest like this. The other volunteers had already been there for a while, uh, walking around the waterfall's edges because, again, this is Guinea. There's no security. There aren't any rules. You can go as close as you want to a waterfall. You can get as up there as you want. It was a little bit dangerous because some volunteers were falling and you couldn't really see the rocks under the water. I jumped in and immediately found out that my legs were dead, like completely dead. I had wasted all my energy. I couldn't even swim anymore, and I thought I was a pretty good swimmer. And so I almost drowned, like in 5 feet of water. It's just like, floundering. I couldn't move my legs. I had to be rescued basically. I was just like grabbing onto just a local guy. It's like, get me back. I had to walk across this little rock bridge where the water wasn't flowing so heavy just to get by. But it was just a really beautiful time, a really fun time hanging out with the other volunteers. We took a lot of pictures. Uh, just got down to the waterfall. It was just super magical. And the food, um, I mean, it was better than rice and peanut sauce, that's for sure. But it was, I think, pizza made with laughing cow cheese, and because that's the only cheese that will preserve. They don't have refrigerators, and so, um, but it was probably the best pizza I'd ever had in my life, right? Because you hadn't had anything like that in a while, and it was just a really good reward for that day. So that was the main group trip, and that was to La Cascade de Soumba. I encourage you to look it up online, and even if you're never going to be a Peace Corps volunteer in Guinea, if you're going to go to Guinea someday, know that they have tons and tons of beautiful waterfalls like that, and uh, they make the trip definitely worth it. All right, guys, have a good one.